العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله.
I want to say Eid Mubarak to everyone first of all, and because it is the day of Eid and it is a day of joy, the biggest joy that one can have is building a connection with the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. So I'm going to recite salawat once again, but I want everyone to say it with their full hearts. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Rasulullah. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Habib Allah. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله.
After reciting salawat, I want to mention a little story about the blessings of salawat. So a beggar once begged something from the unbelievers, from the non-believers, who then sent him to Sayyidina Ali, Karamallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem, who was there standing not too far away. The non-believers did so with the intention of ridiculing Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem. They wanted to make a joke out of it. When the beggar asked Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu ta'ala wajhahul kareem to give him something, Sayyidina Ali recited salawat upon the beggar's hand 10 times. Like we just did, we recited it 8 times total. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu recited salawat upon the beggar's hand 10 times. And then he told the beggar to close his hand. After the beggar closed his hand, Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu sent him back to the non-believers. The non-believers were laughing as a joke, thinking that what's going to happen with just some, blowing upon a hand, and they sent him as a joke anyway. So what's going to happen when you blow something in a hand? They were laughing and making a mockery out of it. But when the beggar got to them and he opened his hand, he came to find that there were the handful of golden dirhams. So this is the power of salawat and salam upon our beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If one is lack of sustenance, if one is looking for a spouse, if one is looking for troubles to go away, if one is looking for blessings in their life, if one is looking for openings, the key to this is salawat. Sayyidina Faizane Madinah Wylie said that on the day of Eid, some people went to the house of Sayyidina Faizane. The door was closed at the time, but they could hear crying and weeping from the door. Eventually, the door was opened, and then the people walked inside. After they came in, they asked Sayyidina Faizane, what's the reason? It's the day of Eid. It's the day of celebration. It's the day of happiness. You just completed Ramadan. Enjoy yourself. Why are you in a state of crying or mourning? Then he radiallahu anhu said that this is the day of Eid as well as the day of mourning. The day of Eid is for those whose salah and sawm have been accepted, but the day of mourning for those whose salam and namaz and sawm have been rejected and slapped upon their faces. And I am not sure if my ibadah, if my namaz, if my coming to Tarawih, if all of these actions were accepted in the court of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So this is the state of someone who is the Ashra Mubashira. Someone who has been given the Basharat of Jannah. He knows that he's going to Jannah. If we knew that we were going to go to Jannah, how would our actions be? Would we be crying? Would we be still talking to Allah? Would we be still trying to build a connection with Allah? If someone told me I was going to go to Jannah, I know how my action would be. Roaming the streets, probably with fakhr as well. Thinking that I'm going to go to Jannah for you guys. But the state of these people, this is the reason why they're going to Jannah. Because of the connection that they have with Allah. Alright, so we must try to take from these stories, and today is the day of Eid, it is a day of happiness. But we also have to think about what we did in the month of Ramadan and make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal. That Allah Azza wa Jal accept our actions and make them not the actions that are slapped upon our faces. Regarding the sanctity of Ramadan, the Prophet of mankind, the peace of our heart and mind, the most generous and kind, Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, has stated, its first 10 days are of mercy. The middle 10 days are of forgiveness. And the last 10 days are of freedom of hell. Now let's ask ourselves how we have spent the last 10 days of Ramadan. The first 10 days, the first 2-3 days, everyone had that excitement of Ramadan. That Ramadan has started, Chandrat, let's go to the bazaar, let's get some new clothes for Ramadan. And then Ramadan starts first day, second day, Tarawih is packed. Third and fourth day, it gets a little bit less. By the fifth day, all the Jazba has died down. And they say, all right, we read our Tarawih, we did some extra ibadah more than we usually do. We'll come back, and the last 10 days started. And then they went away. And then the last 10 days started. They came back. Even those people came back and left in the first few days. Then they came back, and they said, okay, now it's the last 10 days, let's try to up our ibadah. First 2-3 days, first odd night, they recite Salat al-Tasbih, they stay up that night, read more Quran. Then, the second odd night comes, do a little bit less. Third odd night comes, there's nowhere to be found. And then now you're going to find everyone on Eid coming to the masjid again to celebrate. But how are our actions? How were the actions? Were we worthy enough to celebrate? Are we worthy enough to go out and think that, I did good in Ramadan? This is why it's like the story we just heard, that there's a state of mourning as well. Of course it's a day of happiness, but we have to think about our actions, see how we did. How kind is our merciful Lord Azza wa Jal, that He showers His mercy upon us the entire month of Ramadan, and then He blesses us with the day of Eid. Now how should one show gratitude? How do we show gratitude? Right? Should we go out and go back to our own actions? This is the state of the Ummah right now. A lot of people, many people are going to go back to listening to music while they're driving, windows down, music blasting. There's going to be people who are going back to talking to their haram relationships. There's going to be people who are disconnecting themselves from the masjids. There's going to be people who only respected their parents for the month of Ramadan. And then now, because Ramadan is over, they think that the mercy of Allah, they think life is just done back to, disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal. So this is not how we should look. This is not how we should act. The state of the Sahaba Ikram was that when they took a habit, they would keep that habit forever. So if there's a hadith, everyone, and you hear a benefit of that hadith, everyone should act upon that hadith at least one time to attain the blessings of that hadith. And then, if you attain a habit, for example, in the month of Ramadan, if one was reading one juz a day to complete the Quran, which a lot of Muslims do strive around in the world, one juz a day to complete the Holy Quran, because it is the month of the Quran. Now, as soon as the 30 days end, especially on the day of Eid, this where everything just shaitan comes out and everyone loses all their habits. But this is a very, very, very important day. Sure, go out, enjoy with your family, do it the halal way, but stay connected to your habits. This is the time when the habits, you can hold on to it. It's a little bit easier because you just came off of a strong foot. So you want to make sure that if you took a habit, don't leave it for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. For example, some people might have the power of Ramadan that showed us that we can wake up with the Hajj, that we can wake up early in the morning, that we can stay connected to the masjid. So these are the things that we have done and we have proved to ourselves. So now don't just leave that. Don't be seasonal worshippers, right? We don't want to be seasonal worshippers that a time comes in the month, a time comes in one time a year we're going to make up all of our ibadah for the whole year. People think that. We're going to be questioned about the rest of the 11 months as well. How did we live? How did we earn? Did we come to the masjid? Did we stay connected with the people of Allah? Did we care for the ummah? Did we make dua for the ummah? Did we wake up for the hajj? These are the things that we are going to be questioned about. But just because Ramadan is over, the state of the ummah is which that we just forget. The solution to this is to stay connected with this masjid. The reason why is because every single day there's 5-time prayer. there's read being taught, there's Quran being taught for kids, for adults, there's fiqh being taught. If I ask the crowd, and I ask myself as well, how many people know the 3 faraid of ghusl, or the faraid of namaz, or the sharait of namaz? What are the preconditions of namaz? We just say Allahu Akbar and, make it a formal ritual to pray, rather than actually connect with Allah. Talking about myself here as well. Right? We just make it a formal ritual that I'm going to come to the audio, I'm going to pray, just do the actions, rather than connect our hearts. So how can we stay connected and make Ramadan an effect on our lives? By staying connected to a masjid. At least one jamaat a day. At least. In Ramadan, people were trying for 5, 4, 3, at least Fajr, at least Isha. Stay connected at least one jamaat. And notice that the next Ramadan that comes, life-changing. If you stick onto this habit. Like I just said, you must stick onto these habits. If you were reading one juz in Ramadan, why can't one continue? Why is it? This is a rhetorical question, but ask yourself. I'll ask myself as well. Why can one not continue reading the Holy Quran for the next day, and the next day, and the next day? What's the issue? Because we have mental blockers in psychology. That just because we think that the month of Ramadan is gone, that our habits are gone, we'll stay connected to Quran, salawat, tahajjud, and you're going to notice these things. The reason why a lot of the ummah goes astray is because they don't feel something. They don't see something. As humans, we are creatures that like to see something practical. If we want to teach, at least myself, I'm a practical learner. If I want to learn how to do wudu, I want someone to show me how to do wudu properly, and I will never forget it. Alright? So we are practical beings. So I want to make sure that around us we can see things, we can see blessings. And how do you have that happen? By staying connected to the things that we can't see. For example, when you read Quran, there is mercy descending. When you read namaz, there's mercy descending. We can't see those things. But if we stay consistent enough, you will see those blessings in your life. You have to let them marinate. There's people that will, read namaz for 1 month and say, I don't see a change in my life. I don't see my wealth increasing. I don't seem happier. You do it for the wrong intentions. Do it for the sake of Allah. Do the intentions for the sake of Allah, and you will see happiness in your life.
Inshallah.
The thing I want to end off with is for the kids. That the parents, what should the parents do on this day, on the day of Eid? How should the parents connect with the kids on the day of Eid? As the kids, I don't know how the parents are going to react, but the kids should be receiving Eidies. The kids should be receiving traditions that stay connected to Eid. This should be a day of happiness. This should be a day of tradition that they can carry on to their children as well. If it's just a normal day for them, if it's just a day that goes on about, what are they going to teach to their kids? If they feel emotion, if they feel happiness, they're going to say, my father did this for me, I'm going to do it for my kids as well. And these are things that they're going to build you closer to, the kids are going to love you more as well. This builds a connection between the kids and the family as well. But also, you have to care about not only your kids, but what are they going to teach their kids? And once you can create a tradition like this, give gifts. Connect with your family. Call your loved ones up. If there's any ikhtilaf, cut that ikhtilaf off. Make it a day of love. Make it a day of connecting families together. And this is what I mentioned earlier, that how do we spend our Eid? Don't make it a day of going back into sin. Spend it the halal way. That you call up your family, have an Eid out. Keep it the halal way. Have food. Enjoy good food. Enjoy good company. Listen to nasheed. Have a nasheed gathering. Have a sahib. Have mawlid. Just connect with your family. Build connection with them. Have loved ones. Come to the namaz. Come for a masajid. Then at night, enjoy yourself as well. But do it the halal way. Allah Azza wa Jalla gives us permission. It's not that you stay locked in a cage. Go have fun. But keep it the halal way. And this is what Islam teaches us. So for the next 11 months, how should we spend it? How do we make sure that we stay steadfast? The pinnacle of creation, the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He was the best of creation. He is the best of creation. So we must learn about him. His attributes, his characteristics, his morals, his ethics, how perfect he was, how perfect his hair was, how perfect his face was, how there was no flaw in him, how his shoulders were wide, how his chest was open, how tall he was. We have to learn about these things in order to fall in love with the Messenger of Allah and in order to follow and fall in love with the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah. So may Allah Azza wa Jalla grant us with the tawfiq and ability to make sure that we can spend our Eid in a good and proper way and in a halal way. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla bring our hearts together on this day of Eid. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla bring our families together on this day of Eid. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla accept the worship that we have done in the month of Ramadan. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla grant us with the ability to stay steadfast on our habits that we have created. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ. The method of just a reminder that fitrah is compulsory upon those who have the wealth. Now, Sadaqatul Fitr is mandatory upon everyone. The price, I'm going to give you the list of pricing, and you should do it as Allah has blessed you with. So the price for wheat is $10, the price for barley is $45, dates is $70, and raisins is $130. So the least is $10 that every Muslim must pay. But remember that, like I said, if we want to see blessings in our life, if we want to give back and show Allah gratitude on this day, even if you can give more in the path of Allah, then do so on this day. Allah Azza wa Jalla will connect our hearts. Allah Azza wa Jalla will, inshallah, with the blessing of this, will put nur in our hearts, and inshallah, give us more as well in return. How to offer the Eid Salah. So this is very important because as the next few minutes we will be offering Eid Salah. So there's 2 rakats, and in this, the intention that will be made is the 6 rakat. You will make 2 rakat, Eid-ul-Fitr Salah, wajib, with 6 extra takbirat. So that will be the intention. Now how do we do this? On the first rakat, the Imam will say his takbir like regular, and then we're going to recite Salah. After that, there's going to be 3 extra takbirs. So remember the niyat, we had 6 extra takbirs. And on the first rakat, we have 3 extra takbirs. So Allahu Akbar, then we put the hands to the side. Then Allahu Akbar, then we put the hands to the side. Then Allahu Akbar, then put the hands to the side. On the third one, we're going to tie the hand. Okay, so 2, we're going to raise it twice, and on the third one, we're going to tie the hand. And Surah Al-Fatiha and another surah will be recited. And then you go into ruku and then sujood. The second rakat, the Imam will start off with the surah and he will do the qira'at. And then after that, there's going to be 3 extra takbirat as well. So 3, you raise it to the hand, you raise your hands to the ears, put it to the side. Raise them to the ears, Allahu Akbar, put them to the side. Allahu Akbar, put them to the side. And then on the 4th one, we go into ruku. And then the namaz continues on as usual. So this is the method of Eid Salah. Inshallah we'll be starting shortly. May Allah accept our gathering and accept our coming. Make sure after you guys put the fitrah and inshallah give the path of Allah. Eid Mubarak to everyone.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allah.